now and then, subscribers send me these amazing mystery boxes, which I turn them into subscriber mystery box challenges and share all the items that I get with you in these videos, along with sharing what I do with as many of these pieces as I can for DIY projects. To my surprise, this box was filled with so many little figurine pieces. I have to say, this little pottery hat was probably one of my favorite things in here. I won't be DIYing this, okay, but you might see it for some staging. Another thing that I really loved in this box was the teeny tiny little pieces. I love teeny tiny little things. I don't know why, but I just think they're so cute. Some of these items you will see in later videos. I'm just going to be holding on to them and adding to my stash, but today we will be working with this messy moss. I actually have never used this moss before, so I was excited to see if it was less messy than any other mosses. I have an idea for these, but not this video. And people, there was plenty of moss for me to use, but look at these little acorn bits. I've never seen such tiny little pieces. I was excited to get those. This little bird is perfect just the way that it is. It's nice and rustic, and I think it would look amazing for my staging pieces, so I won't be DIYing anything with that. One of the reasons Rhonda sent me the box is this beautiful piece. It's like a piece of countertop, basically, that is cut down, and it's a non-stick surface, so this way stuff don't stick to it while I'm crafting. Rhonda, feel free to put any information in the comments about this. I'm sure people would be interested to know more about it. For this first crafty DIY idea, I'm going to show you how you can take several different items and take moss along with the little pine cones and the acorns and the fruit pieces and just create little centerpieces or spots that you can add little fall touches into your home. For this one, we're just using one of Dollar Tree's round wire baskets, and I have one of Walmart's live edge wood round pieces that are like $5 sitting underneath of the piece. And then I'm just going to take the moss and spread it out, and people, it's just as messy as any other moss, just in case anyone was wondering. There are several ways you could go about giving your basket a little oomph. I grabbed some burlap and just kind of layered it in the center here, so this way my bits, when I put them in the basket, they weren't all the same height, and it didn't require me using a whole bunch of the pine cones, the acorns, or the pear pieces to get the appearance. If I had some little apples, I would have absolutely added that in here too. I did decide to pop in one of my little small decorative pumpkins just for some different color in the basket, and I love how rustic this piece is. I picked up this little wood piece a couple months ago at Ross, and I figured if I wasn't going to use it for my home decor, I could absolutely use it for my staging. It's very much my style, and it was only a couple bucks. If you don't have a Ross Dress for Less near you, there are other retail stores like TJ Maxx or Home Goods that also carry pieces like this that are really inexpensive, and you never know what they'll come in handy for. So I took some of this messy moss, some of those pine cones, added some of these little LED lights from Dollar Tree, and then grabbed some of those acorns and popped in the center for a little bit of color, and I love how this piece turned out. And here's another one of those bowls that are just in a different shape. So I grabbed some more of that messy moss and another LED candle, but this one was a little bit larger, and I had some of Dollar Tree's metal ribbon wrapped around here, popped in some of those little pine cones for that extra fall accents. And how about this one? These Dollar Tree wire baskets are the perfect size for their wood pallets. They add a little bit of stability onto the bottom of the baskets for you to be able to put things in here, like this vintage candle pillar that I found at Goodwill a couple weeks ago. I added some of those fall bits in our mystery box and then covered it up with some of the messy moss, making it a little moody. And that's going to be it for these ideas. You will have to let me know in the comments below which one of these were your favorite. For this easy fall DIY, we're going to take some fake pears and give them a nice coat of white paint. When they're all dry, we're just gonna set them to the side and then grab us some tags. I had these in my stash. You can skip this part. I'm just putting a real quick little layer of white paint on there. It's not necessary, but I felt like I needed to do that. And then I grabbed these little stamp bits that I picked up from Temu some time ago and just picked out 2. They're actually stickers, so it was easy for me to just peel the back off and then press them right on to the tags. If you want, you could absolutely seal over these once you have them all sanded down and your little hole poked through, and pop a little layer of Mod Podge on top of them. I took some twine and gave myself some room with the twine. Does anybody ever struggle with that? That like plucks my nerves when it's like around the spoil and then I can't get it off. Anyhow, moving on. I glued the stem just a bit and then wrapped this twine around so it was completely covered, gluing it as I needed. While the stems were off drying, I grabbed some more of that twine and pulled it through our tags. I tied little knots at the top to make sure the tags wouldn't go moving all over the place, and then I wrapped these around our pears. For this gorgeous and easy fall DIY, you're gonna need some candle holders and some pine cones, some big joints, right? These got a little bit of girth to them. And we're going to just put them right on top of the candle holders. You can glue yours down if you want, but I'm not going to do all that. Grab yourself some twine and then make a little bow. I just used my fingers to create a little finger bow and then tied it all up and then glued a little smoosh in the center so this piece held together. Feel free to attach your bow on here if you want. I just set mine on there and I love the little something extra they add. For this nightmare of a DIY, listen, sometimes despite our best efforts, things just don't work out, but we're gonna need a pumpkin. I'm sorry. Oh, here we go. Grab yourself some fabric, okay? And take that fabric and cut it down to size to be able to fit the pumpkin that that you have, because you can use whatever size pumpkin you want. This is what I had, and I wrapped it with fabric. I tied the twine around there so the fabric stayed, and then I grabbed some of these things, which I feel like was my biggest mistake. Grabbed the Cricut tool and then started poking holes in the top of the pumpkin because, it's styrofoam. Like, this is going to be great to hold our sticks. I know y'all have had to see stuff like this in like stores. Like, I was just recently in Home Goods, and this is where I got this idea from. I seen they had like these beautiful flower pieces. Now, they didn't have pine cones and stuff coming out of them, but I got this great idea that sticks and pine cones and the messy moss. It's going to all make sense. However, here we are just putting it all out on the internet for everyone to judge. So I decided that as I put enough sticks in here, I was getting scared. I was like, this is turning into a Halloween project, and grabbed some of these things that were in there. I'm like, this is going to make it better. And I don't think that it did. So I grabbed some of the molds and started shoving that in there. I was like, it's going to get better. At any point, those moments when you're making something, you're like, oh, just add some more and it'll start getting better. And it'll get better and it'll be fine. We'll put some more over here. No, it didn't get better. As a matter of fact, it's been about 2 years and a yarn ball since I wanted to tap out of a project and then hide it and pretend like it never took place. Some of you will recall that moment. Now, what I hope you gain as a viewer watching me through this struggle is to not do everything I'm doing. As a matter of fact, if you make this DIY and it turns out better, please, using little pine cones, little acorns, send me a picture. Hit me up on my email, the Facebook community group, Hit your girl up. Let me see your beautiful project because here is mine. If you would like to see more fall DIYs with me, check out this video right here. As always, people, thank y'all so much for hanging out with me today. And until next time.